Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. We are about to head over to the farm. I think we may try raking and possibly baling the pasture grass out of my place. I think at this point, all of it that we had cut down the other day, all of the alfalfa and grass both need to be raked up, because the last we checked the alfalfa, it was extremely wet underneath yet. There just wasn't any airflow going underneath the hay. It was nice and crispy on top, but underneath it's still wet. So I think we need to rake it, get it up off the ground, roll it up, and give it a day or two to try to dry out yet. Now the forecast is looking extremely dry. We are extremely dry here in Wisconsin, at least this part of the state. And I know that the row crops definitely need some rain. So I know that we're crossing our fingers hoping for some rain here very, very soon, or else we could be in some trouble. But as far as the hay goes, here in the next few days, we're gonna bale up all of it, get it moved in. I might let it sit out and air out for as long as I can before they do start to call for some rain. Last I heard, we had a slight chance later this week, but they've been backing it off for the last week or so. Let's head over to the farm and see if we're gonna make anything today. I'm not feeling too confident about getting the hay made too dry here in the next few days. What we're gonna do is we're gonna head out and rake up the grass. I think that'll go sooner, a lot sooner than the alfalfa. But I think it's because of Canadian wildfire smoke, they're saying this year. We've been struggling that with a couple of years, this past couple of years, with it not making the hay dry. But if you look out, I mean, yeah, there's clouds up there, but above the clouds, even when the sun peeks through, it's not that intense because there's just a layer of what seems like fog. It's smoke, but it's definitely up there. Even over where the sky is blue, it's not that rich of a blue. You know, it's got to be smoke. I'm going to hook the 7600 up to the RhinoAg RD14 wheel rake, and we're gonna go out, rake up the pasture today, and then tomorrow we'll probably look at baling it. Depends how dry it is underneath, how wet it looks. But then Dad'll have off tomorrow morning. We'll probably send him out to do some more raking of the alfalfa to get it up off the ground in the morning, and then Travis and I will take the balers out and go start baling some of this stuff, so we don't have to bale it all in one go. We can kind of spread the work out over a couple days. The semi has been running good. I got 10,000 bushels hauled down in May, and I actually had an issue, the same issue with the 7920, where that small short hose that comes off the water pump, where it was leaking on the 79. I knew it was a problem on Big Red, but we just kind of hit the tipping point where it wasn't worth letting it leak anymore. Replaced that hose, and as far as I can tell, it's solved a lot of the coolant issues finally. I can look under there and see a couple dribbles, but by now it would have been pretty much all leaked out. So at the start of every day, I was putting 2.5 gallons of coolant in there. It's like, I can't keep this up. So I did that, and seems like it's solved the problem for the most part. We are out to the pasture now. We just got done with raking up the Klein field. We are out into the big pasture where we now have cattle. Now, some of you might be asking, yourselves or me, is it really even worth cutting all this? And to be honest, that's a perfectly valid question, because even I don't know. At this point, I've been letting cows out gradually as I can let them out of the barnyard as they've been calving. And every year we cut what we can cut down to try to keep the brush down. And I figured, you know, at this point we're kind of at the tipping point as where it's worth mowing and making bales off these hillsides. We'll see how much we actually get, but we're right at the point of where it is and isn't worth coming out here and trying to bale it up. In the future, we might come out with the rhino mower and mow them all down. I still would love to get all of the feed off these hillsides. It's just that I'd like to let the cows out earlier in the year so they're not stuck in the barnyard pretty much until June. So we're gonna go ahead and rake this up. Doesn't look like much now, but it might look a little bit like there's more once we get going. Just finished up. You can make out the difference in the amount of hay where the cattle have been on it. There's a deer running up along that fence line. You guys probably can't see him too well, but you can see the difference in yield where the cows have been on versus the pasture where the cows haven't. I am pretty seriously looking at going and getting a pasture mix of fertilizer that I can spread on, because it's been 3 years since this pasture has had any kind of fertilizer. So I figured it's about time. They could really use it. Just when it was coming up in the spring, the difference in color of different areas, like where we harvest the hay off and where we don't, you can definitely make out a difference just by looking at the grass, where it was much more of a deep green where we weren't harvesting it off. But there's gonna be a decent amount of hay in this pasture for sure. Typically what I tried to do before was we'd load up a bunch and bring them out and drop them out here at the Klein pasture. To save time, I figured I'd just let them out into the big pasture and see how it went. I have access to more feed now, so I'm not as hard pressed to make as much hay as possible. But, you know, hay is hay. It's money one way or another, so it's worth having around. We're heading back to the farm. I just finished out here, and we're probably going to be making this tomorrow, which is going to be in our next video. So with that, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, all How Farms Work. And don't forget to check out the How Farms Work store, which is down in the description, for one of our many shirts that we have. I am going to be putting a new design, new t-shirt up on our website once I get them ordered. I need to get the design put together, but keep an eye out on our website for that. New design shirts, so I'm looking forward to it. With that, I'll see you next time, guys.